Hi, my friends. I hope you all are doing great today. It's me, Nikki, here to share with you some tips to help get that fridge ready as we move into spring cleaning season. And I want to thank my sponsors of this video, Hungry Root. They have been my partners in really solving a problem when it comes to meal prep and meal planning in my home. So excited to share how I have been implementing Hungry Root in my home. So now let's jump into those fridge tips. Okay, friends, the tips that I'm sharing in this video when it comes to fridge organization is not about creating that Pinterest beautiful fridge, a bunch of kind of organizers and things like that. Of course, you can use those to be beneficial, but you have to use them in a way that works for you and your family. And I'm going to be sharing that with you today. But this is about real life, realistic tips that you can incorporate into your fridge setup to really make the fridge not be just that drop zone that gets totally out of control easily, but one that really works for you and you not have to work on it. So the first tip that I want to share with you is try to consolidate when it comes to your fridge as far as your shopping list. Instead of, having your shopping list in a different part of your home, you can use your shopping list right in your fridge. Use a dry erase marker on the side of the fridge, and that's where you jot down your groceries. It just makes sense. That's where you're figuring out a lot of times what is missing, what you need to get. Write it right there on the side of the fridge and you never have to lose the list. And then when it's time to go grocery shopping, you can always just snap that list, go to your computer, do your Hungry Root order if that's what you're doing or whatever you're getting. But you have everything right there. So that's just one simple tip. Now, one thing I want to say, just as a disclaimer, make sure that your fridge is one where you can use a dry erase marker or you can use a wax pencil or whatever the case may be. Most fridges are, but you just want to double check for yours. You can always put something on the outdoor of your fridge, something where you can write your list, but then that's that visual clutter, right? You don't want the exterior of your fridge to contain all of this stuff that just really just brings a lot of clutter visually into your home. So if you have to put anything on the outside of your fridge, I always encourage my clients to put it on the side of the fridge where it's not necessarily the first thing that hits you, but then, keeping that list on the interior really just kind of cleans things up. So friends, the next step is about creating stations in your fridge. Think about how you and your family function, and those are the stations that you want to implement. For example, if you're a busy family and you get up in the morning and everyone likes to go to the fridge and to grab lunch. So you may want to create a lunch station where you have yogurts and you have easy grab to go things that you can grab for breakfast. And that's why I do love Hungry Root, because they offer so many grocery items that are just that simple. They're healthy, they're easy to grab and go. One of the ones that Mike and I love are their bold egg packs, because they're really kind of serving size. We can grab and go, and we have just a simple, quick, easy, on-the-go breakfast. That is the great thing. When I get my Hungry Root box, I'm so excited to open it and see all the snacks and the wonderful little just meal options that are easy. The dinner options, friends, this is the thing that me and Hungry Root have in common. They know that I don't like to be in my kitchen long, but I like to eat good. I want something that's really going to be very nourishing for Mike and I, and they hit all of those marks. I love the fact that when I get my little recipe card, the recipes, I always go look at the time factor at the beginning to see how long it's going to take me to cook the meal, because I use that as an inspiration. I know I'm going to have dinner on the table in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And one of the consistent things about Hungry Root is all of the meals that I've had so far have really been under that 10 to 15 minute mark. And so it really, really just takes the stress off of feeling like after a long day that I'm going to have to come in the kitchen and do a lot of cooking. The meals are pretty much pre-prepped for you. All you have to do is just kind of get it and go. And so those are one of the stations that I like having in my fridge, is that drawer where I can put all of my dinner components from Hungry Root. So when my grocery box comes in, I go ahead and take those things for the dinners and put them in their drawer, so that when it's time to cook dinner, it just makes it even more efficient. I go to one place, so you can create those breakfast stations. You can create a work week station. If you like to have your meals prepped for the work week, Monday through Friday, have an area for that. So just think about how you function in your home and create those easy to go stations. If you eat a lot of sandwiches in the home, the kids are going to be soon summertime. You might want to, for the summer, as you're decluttering and cleaning your fridge for the summer, you may want to make a sandwich station where all the components for them to make the sandwich is right there in one area, so they don't have to rummage around the fridge, therefore making it easy to maintain the fridge. So just think about how you work as your family. Like I said, for us, having that Hungry Root drawer is really efficient. I also want to mention that Hungry Root is so great that they are giving a 40% discount code to all of my friends out there on your first box. Plus, you will get a free item for life in your future boxes. So definitely you use the discount code Nikki, and I'll put the link in the description box so that you can really take advantage of that. That is a great, great deal. And friends, we really had some yummy, yummy meals in this go round of our box. I've loved all the meals, but one of the things that is going to be a staple are I had the short rib quesadillas. So easy to make, so delicious. I love that short ribs were already pre-cooked, ready to roll. It was just about kind of getting my little frying pan, arranging the quesadilla with the cheese and the steak. Like I said, the ribs were already done, and it was quick, easy, but absolutely delicious. And one thing that I love about Hungry Root too is you can order side items to add to the recipe. So like, for example, we have the short ribs, but I am an onion. I love sauteed onions. So just throw an onion in your Hungry Root order, and then that way you can just kind of add to the recipe. And so I just kind of put some grilled onions on the inside too, because I'm just an onion person. So that's what I love about it also. Another delicious meal that we had was the plant-based crab cakes. Never had plant-based crab cakes, but they legitimately taste like crab cakes. And so we had this for lunch. This was a nice lunch, just over that bed of salad. It already comes to where all I had to do was just sear for a couple minutes each side of the crab cake, top it on top of the salad, and they had this nice little chili sauce. I overdid it with the chili sauce. I'm only going to put about half of that. I just got chili sauce happy. I'm thinking, oh, the whole pack, I can just put it over there. But it was really just absolutely a great lunch meal, very easy, but it could be dinner also. But I love that that was one of the ones that were in there. So another one that was super easy was a shrimp stir fry, absolutely delicious. Mike and I, as you can see, we love a lot of seafood, but it was just about kind of a couple minutes on sauteing the shrimp. Another thing is just the veggies are already pre-cut, makes it super simple. Put a little bit of olive oil, saute the veggies, put the mixture together, and I have a delicious, hearty meal. So good. Okay, friends, so my next tip is to incorporate a Use Me First bowl in your fridge. This is a bowl or a container that you put in your fridge. This may be a drawer in your fridge that you use, that all of the items that need to be used first will go. These are things that are getting ready to expire, things that, you may have bought something and you want to eat it, but you don't think you'll buy it again, so you're just trying to get through it. I will put those types of items in there. Anything that you're trying to move away from the fridge for whatever reason would go into the first Use Me First bowl or section. And this will be a place that family knows that let's really try to get through these things so that we don't have any waste. And this can really help cut down on a lot of the waste in your fridge. Another area or another item or place to keep in your fridge is a leftover area, a place where you put all leftovers. If you just kind of use your fridge in general, just put the leftovers anywhere they will fit, they can get lost, they become old, and then it can just make it harder to keep your fridge clean. But if you have an area designated, it may be one side of the shelf in the fridge, it may be a drawer in the fridge, but an area that is only where the leftovers go, this makes it easy for you the next day when you're going to work and you want to grab lunch, just go to the leftover drawer. If you know that your leftovers kind of overtake your fridge for the most part, by having a leftover station, this can really solve that problem. So you're really being intentional about where things go in your fridge. And when you open your fridge, you know that Everything has a place and a purpose. So that's kind of a great way to think about your fridge instead of just having this open box that anything goes. And lastly, friends, don't overthink it. Think realistically. How do you work? We can go on Pinterest and we can look in magazines and see beautifully organized fridge, but it may not be how your family functions or what your needs are. Know how you use your fridge and eat and function in your kitchen currently, and that's what you want to implement in the fridge. So I hope that some of the tips that I shared with you today could really be helpful. I wanted to really come and just share realistic things for how you can really have a beautifully organized fridge, and one that is not a chore for you, and that really keeps your food fresh and it's fresh for you also. I also want to remind you to definitely check out my friends at Hungry Root. It is really, truly a beautiful, beautiful thing to incorporate into your whole meal planning system. I will put the link again down below. And reminder, you will get 40% off your first box, plus you'll get a free item for life. So that really is very exciting. So I hope you will take advantage of that and just use the code Nikki. I hope you all are doing great. I will see you in the next video. And this is Nikki saying goodbye.